Okay, our project was to get kids into coding, 3D printing, that kind of thing. I came back to teaching after being retired, and I thought I've got to try to throw some of this new stuff in there. So I really just kind of threw it in with classes that I was teaching. So I don't know that we did any of it, real justice, but we knew there was a need for coding and computer science, and so we found a little bit of data there to back it up. And our grant included Code.org, Tinkercad. I just looked for things that were free that I could use along with the stuff that we bought with the grant. We bought this book, and we found that it was kind of hard for the kids to follow. They didn't really like it. It was Python, but it wasn't a lot of interactive stuff. This was a better option. I took a class in Prestonsburg on this, and they set me up a class of 5 students, and one of those students is right here, Shannon, and she can tell you a little bit about this class. It was this was a much better option than the little book that we bought.
Okay, so this class is Academy, the art, which is what really everyone calls it, but that's the link to it. And it was super fun, but it's really challenging because in no place does it tell you the instructions of how to do it. It simply gives you the means to do it, and then it shows you the end product. And the whole point is to work to get there. And you have to go back to lessons a lot. So a lot of kids just didn't finish it because they didn't feel like they should, even though they really should have. But I've kept up with it, and I thought it was really fun, and I've learned a lot from it. So it was worth it.
And she actually went ahead of me. What I was able to do, I didn't have the time to, it's better if you could have a class with the student in it and work with them in class. But she's done great with it, and it's a lot of, they can actually see an end product with this. And we also used this, and we started at the lowest level, block coding. But this is a great program. They did a Google logo, and it's really great for all ages. And then you can move up to a gaming thing for the older kids. So that's something that we got into just a little. This is the 3D printer we bought with the grant money, Creality 3D CR10S. And we knew nothing about 3D printing when we bought this. Shannon here, she set the printer up, and along with the principal. So she had already done research on it. She was really interested in this, and so she set the printer up for us. This is another option that I just threw in there for you. Perry County Public Library. I was up there one day, and they had this printer sitting out, and we found with the printer we had, it was hard to get the bed to heat up to what we needed it to heat up for a lot of the prints. You had to have it in a room that was real hot, and we didn't have a room close to my room at the time because we were having to use the room next to me as the lunchroom while they were renovating the other cafeteria. So now we've got it in that room, and well, I don't know what I did. But anyway, I stopped doing this. But anyway, we have it over there, and we have to really heat the room up to where it's hot. And it has worked better, so we're learning as we go. Another thing that we learned, that we used, was this Code.org. And this was really good for the kids. You can set up a class with it, and it has a lot of computer science stuff in it. So it was really good for that. They learned some binary coding, and it's interactive. So this is a good program that you can use. That's just some of the things they made. Tinkercad is a free 3D design program that we use. There's a lot of other options, and I think you'll find that in your handout there, we have a class scheduled with KET, a workshop on Blender, which is another 3D design programs. So we haven't had a chance to really use a lot of those others, but we'd like to. We tried to use Autodesk. It was a little bit geared toward like Fusion 360 for high school students and older, and we couldn't get it on our computer because of a block. So the board, they were supposed to work on that with us, and hopefully by next year we can get a class set up in that. But this is Tinkercad. This is the little ice cream cone that she designed on it. Just a little thing that, you know, you could make a necklace out of. But Delilah here, her STLP group worked with the 3D printer, and they worked a little bit with Tinkercad. So I'll let her tell you a little bit. She's really nervous, but
She's too nervous. I'm scared she'll get sick if she talks, so I'll do it for her. So her STLP group ended up using Tinkercad to show the children how to make an egg. And they ended up 3D printing one for every student. And it's a bit too complex for the children to have designed completely their own egg, so they simply took it and they took these markers that are made for these so that they could paint them. So the kids got to enjoy it and they got to see some of the technology that was used. So they did learn that. So it was really good for them. Ms. Pratt will turn around and start trying to talk again.
well, I was just going to show you some of the things. This is something that was on Tinkercad, this rose. And so they printed it out and they made these out of these leaves that they used from Walmart. But anyway, this is some of the vases that they printed, and little teddy bears and BFF necklaces. And this is a little thing that we made to put paper on that we could attach to the computer to clip paper under. It didn't print out real well, but it will do. But anyway, I'll try to go and get pictures of this. She wants to tell you a little bit about this. You have to change your items in order to print them, so you can tell them about the hero.
Okay, so it's really just an application translator because the models that we work with, they are not in a language that any printer can understand. So what you have to do is you have to take the model that you can see and you have to translate it into code that the machine can see. And that's what Cura does because it's really complex. So you put it into Cura and you do all your options so you can do the filament and your colors and all that. That way that the machine can print it.
And this is just some of the popular 3D modeling things. We set up a school store and we tried to use some of these items that we printed. The little kids really enjoyed it. We made rings, we made the BFF necklaces, and I used it in my business principles class. But anyway, it's all in the handout.